For this scenario, we're going to be flying from McMinnville to Crater Lake in Oregon. Flying out of McMinnville with the current weather, the best runway would be runway 4, which is 5,420 by 100 feet. If we do have an issue shortly after takeoff, they do have ILS in the runway 22 and RNAV in the runway 4 there that we can use to get back in there with the current weather conditions. As for me, my experience, I got about 1,600 hours, 500 of them are at night, and about 25 are in actual IFR conditions. Although it has been about 8 months since the last time I've flown an IMC. However, I have done one approach with an instructor recently that was down to minimums. I am current on IFR. I have done the 6 instrument approaches and the holding procedures and tracking the intercepting and tracking courses using navigation. And for me, my personal minimums for nighttime IFR is 1,500 feet, ceilings, 3-mile visibility, and winds 15 knots with an 8-knot crosswind. For this flight, we're going to be using a Cessna 182 at max weight. In the current weather, we can expect a ground roll of about 765 feet and 1,460 feet to get over a 50-foot obstacle. A max climb of 905 feet per minute, and also the aircraft has no icing protection systems. For the departure out of McMinnville, for runway 4, we need 275 per nautical mile climb rate up to 500 feet. We'll fly on a 038 heading to intercept the radial 170 to the UBG VOR DME. Once we are there, we will enter a holding pattern, hold south of the VOR, left turns on a 003 inbound heading. And we'll stay in that hold until we're up to our MEA for the route, which for this we're going to file 9,000 feet. Current weather conditions is 050 at 5 knots, 7 statute miles visibility, and few clouds at 2,000, and it's overcast at 3,500, and it's 7 degrees Celsius. So that gives us a ceiling of 2,000 feet over my personal minimums and visibility 4 nautical miles over personal minimums. And also the weather, if we need to return, is good enough to be within my personal minimums for coming back and flying the approach back into the airport there. For en route at Newburgh there, we'll pick up Victor 495, take that down to Corvallis. That portion has a MEA of 4,000 feet. Down at Corvallis, we'll pick up Victor 23 and take that down to Rogue Valley. That portion will have an MEA of 8,000 feet. There is weather reported along the route there at Eugene, which from 0 Zulu, they're expecting 080 at 3 knots, plus 6 statute miles visibility and overcast at 1,500 feet. And there is a wind aloft report to the west of the route there at OTH, which is reporting 290 at 20 and -7 on the temperature. And then at Rogue Valley, we'll pick up Victor 122, take that down to Klamath Falls. That portion will have an MEA of 9,000 feet. And just east of Klamath Falls there at LKV, they have a wind aloft at 9,000 feet, reporting 290 at 19 with -8 on the temperature. So flying approach and getting into Klamath Falls there, we can expect runway 32, which is 10,302 feet by 150 feet. The TAF is reporting from 2000, variable at 3 knots, plus 6 statute miles, and broken at 2,000. And then from 05, which is just after we're expecting to arrive, variable at 3 knots and 5 statute miles. They do have an ILS in the 3.2 there. The minimum for the ILS is 4295 and 2,400 feet. So personal weather minimums is 550 foot ceiling and 1 mile viz or 5,000 RVR. And I got that from the minimums, published minimums plus 350 and 1/2 mile. They also do have a RNAV and a VOR DME into there if we need it. As for the weather, an alternate for 1 hour before and after our arrival time, they are expecting at least 2,000-foot ceiling and visibility at 3 miles, so alternate will not be required. As for go no go, the weather is above personal minimums, but icing would be a concern on this flight with the temperatures and visible moisture, which could lead to system malfunctions. If we get ice buildup, we could get faulty or inoperative airspeed, altitude, and VSI indications. External pressures for the flight is that family is expecting me home tonight, and there's a championship game for my son tomorrow. But I think with the icing conditions, the best thing to do would be to wait, since the aircraft doesn't have any anti-ice or de-ice equipment. So I think the best call is to wait for better weather and fly home later.